Win a Pageant, episode 24. Hi winners, if you're ready for more in-depth pageant training, get the free 15-day pageant course at freepageantcourse.com. Let's win a pageant. Hi winners, welcome to another episode of Win a Pageant. I'm your coach, Alicia Darby, and today we are talking about the difference between being perfect and being real. Now, many pageant contestants believe that in order to win, that they have to project some elusive image of perfection, like they have to have the perfect hair, the perfect nails, the perfect teeth, the perfect walk, talk, smile. It just goes on and on and on. But may I just say boldly that that stuff is for the birds. Now, the reason that pageants get this bad rap is because they do seem like perfectly poised contestants gliding across stage with their glimmering teeth and size 2 bodies. And it is really hard not to look at them from the audience and think, wow, she is absolutely perfect. But when it comes time for her to deliver her onstage answer to a tough political question, or to even in an appearance like to hug a child or to interact with parents or to give a public presentation about a really tough topic or something more serious, then perfection is far less attractive. In those areas, onlookers would rather experience somebody who is real and like approachable, likable, trustworthy, because really, we do not trust somebody who comes off overly perfect. My favorite illustration of this is from my second year competing at states in Miss Pennsylvania. My sister queen, Lucy, she was crowned as my peer in the same local pageant. So that's how we became sister queens. And this girl was a total spark plug. I'm sure she still is today. I mean, she was really a just total goofball. She was hilarious. Everyone always wanted to be around her. And I, on the other hand, I was like complete opposite. You know, I was Little Miss Perfection. I was crossing all of my T's and dotting all of my I's and driving everybody crazy. Does this look okay? Or should I put it just a 1/4 inch to the left? You know, should I wear these gorgeous rhinestone earrings or these gorgeous rhinestone earrings? Should I be first or should I be last? I mean, I'm certain I was driving everybody crazy because I was really trying to be perfect. I was trying to be what I saw Miss America being, which I saw her as perfect. And so I was really, really trying to emulate that. And really, I'll share with you how it was really not a good thing to do. So the interview portion comes around in this portion of the competition. My sister queen, Lucy, was just ahead of me. And so she came out of the interview laughing and smiling, like just so thrilled with her interview. And of course, that made me just terribly nervous because how could someone have so much fun in such a serious environment, you know? And so here I am, I get into my interview and I am just like praying that they do not ask me anything political because I don't know what I would say. I like hated watching the news and I'm like, oh man, I mean, of course I knew the big topics, but I wasn't like really, really well versed in them. It wasn't like I was going to whip out some answer like a poli-sci major or whatever, you know? So I probably squeaked through most of it. I'm sure I was charming and lovely and stuff, but I did not come away with it being like, wow, that was so much fun, you know? So of course I did leave the room feeling relieved that I just made it through without too many problems, you know? But then later, the funny part is that Lucy told me the reason that she was laughing, and it was because she had the most ridiculous interview question. So now let me just give you a little background story. At the time, this would have been like 10 years ago, our nation was under President Bush's leadership, and we were really struggling to protect our southern border, our border with Mexico. And so there were all sorts of ideas coming up, like maybe we should build this giant wall. Maybe we ought to hire more soldiers, you know, to patrol it. But there were a lot of problems going on there, and no one really knew what was the best answer. And I mean, for years, no one was really able to figure it out. So Lucy told me that during her interview, the judges asked her, what is your solution to the border control issues that our nation is facing right now? So anytime, you know, when you're thinking about pageants and someone asks a question like this, you are probably doing this right now. You're thinking through, okay, how would I answer that? What would I say? You know, so as a perfect pageant contestant, my answer at the time may have sounded something like this. Well, this is a very difficult issue for our nation. Since the beginning of time, really, any country's main objective is to protect its land with some form of control. I trust that our government will find a solution. And I'm sure that if that would have been my answer, now I didn't get this question, but if I would have, that's probably what I would have said. And that would have been, the judges would have been, okay, shrugged and, moved on. Like, oh, okay, nice answer, but whatever. But not Lucy. So listen to what Lucy says. So her response to this question, okay, so just as a reminder, the question is, what is your solution to the border control issues that our nation is facing right now? So Lucy says, what? Really? I mean, if I knew the answer to that, I'd be calling up President Bush and say, Bush, listen, I figured it out. He'd probably give me $1 million. And of course, you can imagine the whole judging panel just busts up in laughter because her answer was totally real, approachable, very honest, likable, hilarious. And she was really saying what everybody else was thinking, which is just like, come on, this is such a crazy question. There's no way that a pageant girl would come up with this answer. That's not her central focus, And so she fortunately did not put anybody down. She didn't make anyone feel silly for even asking such a loaded question, but she just made light of it and was basically saying, look, that's the $1 million question. So that year, Lucy won the interview award. And she won a good chunk of change in scholarship dollars as a result of her high score. So I share this story with you just to help you know that the truth of the matter is the more real that you are, the more approachable, likable, and trustworthy you become. Think of your favorite celebrities. We just adore the ones with whom we can connect through real life struggles or funny yet very human responses to any variety of situations, and just the humble kindness that celebrities have towards other people. Those are all just real human characteristics. So I'm not saying you need to just throw out all the rules of professionalism and respectability. You absolutely need to be seen as someone worthy of respect. So I'm not saying you need to just show up and be all crazy and let loose and leave all caution to the wind. That's not what I'm saying. But pageantry is a balancing act between respectable and real. You cannot just show up thinking that you're going to be perfect. When I was modeling in Los Angeles, I had a mentor tell me, don't hide your flaws. Your flaws will get you booked. And of course, as a model, your only objective is to just get booked. You want to book as many gigs as you possibly can. And so I thought, oh, well, goodness, my flaws? Well, so I shouldn't hide this. I shouldn't hide this. I shouldn't hide this. It's the little things that make you unique and human that are attractive to other people. You may see them as flaws, but others see them as very real and respectable. It makes you more approachable and trustworthy. So do not mistake respectable for perfect. So how do you know if you are being respectable or perfect? Well, I want to share with you 5 ways to discover if you are trying to be more perfect than real. So here they are. See how you feel about these questions. And I'll also share with you what real looks like. Okay, so you may be too perfect if you wish that you didn't have to do all this work every time you get ready for an appearance. Now, real girls typically learn to do the things that they absolutely must do. They have to have respectable outfit that matches the appearance. They need to have the right shoes. They need to have, some level of appearance that appears like they put themselves together, But the rest of what they can't control, they just chalk up to being human. Number 2, you may be too perfect if you have to think before you respond to a question or to someone's comment. And then you may often wonder if you've even answered the way that that person wanted you to. Real girls respond however they feel, and they don't need to justify their beliefs. Now, of course, they do take into the consideration other people's feelings, but not necessarily other people's judgments. They're comfortable in their own skin. You may be too perfect if you use your physical or your natural human characteristics, which you cannot control, as excuses for why you aren't winning. Like, my nose is too long, my chin is too short, I'm not tall enough, my face is too round, my boobs are too small. I've heard all of these excuses before. I've even used a few in my own days. But real girls embrace their natural qualities because they seek to better themselves in other areas like their health, their professional skills and strengths, and their personal development far beyond their physical attributes because they recognize, hey, you can't control your physical attributes. Number 4, you may be too perfect if you're feeling like you just don't belong among these girls or in this dress or with this crown or at this place, wherever it is. Now, to be honest, real girls do experience what I call the imposter syndrome too, which we're going to unpack next week, but they don't let it be their focus. Instead, real girls embrace the opportunity to grow, to connect with new people, to learn new skills, and to give back, despite how other people may be viewing them. And number 5, you may be too perfect if you are trying to impress the judges or your parents or the other contestants or anyone else more than you're trying to impress yourself. Real girls stick to their values. They know what they believe and they know what they stand for. They don't compromise their personal truth for the favorable judgment of other people. Now listen to me very carefully. If you have done your homework and you've taken your time to prepare, you've got excellent coaching and guidance, and you know that you really are truly suited to win this pageant, then you need to give up the perfect gig and you need to start being real, because the perfect gig doesn't work. Only real does. The more real you are, the more approachable, likable, trustworthy, and respectable you become. And that, ladies, is how you win a pageant. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. To learn more and to get valuable resources to help you win, visit winapageant.com. Hey there, I'm Alicia Darby, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching that last video. If you totally loved it and got something from it, would you just click subscribe right here to subscribe to our YouTube channel? Hey, I am here for you, and I've got so many more trainings and videos for you. In fact, this one would be a really great one to watch next. Or if that topic doesn't interest you, then try this one. It's my most recent video training. So I think both of these would be really great for you. Thank you again so much for subscribing. I am honored to be your coach. I'll see you again soon.